Hey everyone. So, I have been developing an app to help with people's collections, and I finally have the 1.0 version done. It's a very rudimentary app, just kind of I guess programming wise. There's decent amount of stuff hard coded and stuff right now. I'm still working on API stuff with the web store that I have, and then like eBay and stuff. Um, but this is it's called Pirate Pete Collector. So you launch it, and it has two sections. So the first section is the Pirate Pete price guide. That again, right now it's hard coded for prices, and so anytime the only way you would see price updates, like if I change price, which in the dead CCG space, there's prices aren't changing too often. So you know, I can send out an update with price changes every couple of months or something, or every month, or every 3 months even, and it would just come with the app update. Um, the goal eventually is to I've gotten um, onto the eBay dev API, and I'm working on that to try to help pull prices. But even then, it's really hard with eBay to. I mean, the prices are all over the place. It may just be something. Um, it's hard to automate eBay stuff because there's so much nuance. Where if you got a specific card and it doesn't list it in the title, or doesn't list it as moderately play or damaged, and then it shows a very cheap price. So that's eBay's really hard. But eventually, I'm going to connect it to the API of my website to pull prices live. But that's something for the future. So let's just hit card library real quick. So the card library is these are two separate databases. They do not touch each other. I'm still working on normalization on naming, and so like some of the stuff, may say white border instead of revised, and with is so this is just a huge database of cards where you can. I think there's like 450,000 cards from all sorts of different games, where you can go through and add what you have to your collection. So I'll just pick Eve. I played Eve. I enjoyed it. So you have. So first you go into the game where it shows you all the sets. Then you have your sets, so you can pick core set. Um, if you have the set, so there's obviously some just basic sorting options. Um, you can search within here. So I know there's a card named Ibis. You can search Ibis. Um, this I think has Ibis. You can search from each screen, and it always so you can search in here for anything through all of Eve, and then here you can search through anything in that set. So you can, if you have the complete set, you can hit +1, -1. Just it's just something to help you keep your collection. So let's say I have two sets of that and a set of Exiled. So let's go down to what's a fun thing. Let's pick something random. The Crow. Oops. So I'm just gonna pick some random. So that's another thing. So I can hit graveyard. I can. And right now I just have placeholder images. Again, that's not going to be in version 1.0. It's just placeholder images. That's a big task to tie all of the images into each card. So you can you can swipe up to just whatever sorting option you had. You can just swipe up. Okay, so we've added some cards. So you can go to My Card Library, and it'll show you everything that you have. Oh, I actually didn't have Darla, so I'm going to get rid of Darla. You can export. You can export a master list, which is literally just a giant CSV of all the cards. It exports, I don't remember what the fields are, but it exports, I think, game, set, card, quantity. That's all I'm exporting right now. So you can export, save to files, save. So for trading purposes, you can export this. You can email the list to somebody. So let's go. I'm going to clear my library. So let's say somebody sent me a list. I cleared my card library, so I don't have anything. So I'm going to import. Import that card library, and then now I can look at the whole list that they sent me. So the card library section is pretty self-explanatory. So then the Pirate Pete price guide. This is everything that I sell. And I'm going through big changes and adding inventory or updating inventory. But this also has prices that I've kind of scoured from my price. I've gone through, looked at my prices, other prices online, and kind of come up with like these are actually my prices. But like to get my prices, I've gone through, looked online, and looked at just prices online. So let's see. So one thing you can do once you have, so this is an estimated market value based on, this is like a retail price. So, all, Card Game Geek, Category 1, Pirate Pete, it's like that type of stuff. You can always get stuff probably cheaper on eBay, but again, it's not, like you don't know. I don't know. I buy stuff on eBay too, and sometimes I buy stuff and I get burned because the condition sucks, and so there's and then sometimes people just throw stuff up. I always go check eBay, guys. You can find something. It's fun. Like it's a game for me. Somebody throws up something, and I think for Star Wars CCG there is a sun bleached Reflections 2 booster box that got put up for like $500, and it looked kind of sketchy. I think a couple of people bought into it, but I don't know. That's kind of fun. So these are just like retail prices, and then the estimated Pirate Pete buy value is a percentage. There's parameters in there, so like we just go into Jedi Knights Premiere. So Admiral Mahdi Fleet Admiral is 35 cents. So it's roughly 50% on that. But if you add 5 after the 5th one, I think it drops down to like 30%. There's just different parameters like that. So yeah, just okay. So one thing you can do is you can hit Request Pirate Pete. Quote it, and these prices, I want to understand, these are not like I'm going to buy the card from you for this exact price. Like it's a quote. Like we're not entering in a deal. You're just sending that to me, like because I have to double check stuff. This is in this app once it's living, and I'm doing updates. People may be on different versions, and because I'm hard coding prices, which I understand that will create a problem and a headache for me, but I just like I want people to be able to have an idea of a value. So, and also this is like not just for me. Like my business. I'm going to hopefully have some sort of positive outcome from this, where I can people sell me cards and stuff like that. But the I mean, you can use this. I developed this so you can use this irregardless of if you're having anything to do with Pirate Pete or me selling, selling me cards or buying cards from me. Which this app is, you're not buying any. You can't buy anything from me on this app. It is literally just like a collection guide. And since I do have values on my website, like I want people to be able to see values of stuff they have. So we can go to my treasure chest. So this is I think I have a complete set of holodeck adventures, Premiere Limited, and motion picture. And then some random, I think a bunch of mains for Star Wars CCG in here. So like Death Star 2. I have 24 Force Lightnings. That's for Greg. And then Reflections 2. Got 28 Force Lightning foils. So you can, this is my collection. Let's just pretend this is my collection. So and I'm wanting to do a trade with somebody for some Lord of the Rings stuff. And I'm trying to use this app as kind of a trade value or just a resource to have my, have spreadsheets of my collection. So I'm going to export, which you can export by game, and it'll have a sheet for each set in there. But I'm just going to export the master list, save to files. Okay, so I have exported this now. This is my collection. So now I'm going to go in here because somebody sent me a Lord of the Rings file it has to be exported out of this app to be able to import it. But so I'm going to clear my price guide. So I've cleared my collection out. Now I'm going to go into import, and I'm importing the collection that they sent me. And I'm looking at it here. So I actually don't want the Witch King. I'll take a Balrog. I don't want an Arwen. Don't need an Elrond. Don't need the Legolas, and then I don't want the One Ring. So I've gone in there, deleted stuff. I'll keep the Balrog. So now I get to see a market value, and then kind of basically like a cash value that you could get very quickly. But so like a market value of $1361.86. So now I can go in there and export it to, or just take a screenshot, whatever you want to do, and then tell the guy like, hey, this is what the market value for the stuff that I want, and just use that as a trade resource. I don't know. There's not a whole lot more to this. It's very basic right now. This is, once I've gotten this going, it's not necessarily going to take a back burner, but like I'm not going to solely focus on this, because it's a very basic version right now that can help people keep track of their collections, and that's the intention. It's going to be free on all the app stores, I believe. I have never published an app, so I don't know if there's like, I've bought the developer's license and stuff like that, which I think it was $100. I'm not, unless it costs me something like per app download, it's just going to be free. But yeah, just keep an eye out for it, and you can contact me if you have any ideas or recommendations. Like I do know I'm already these little buttons. I meant to do that before this video. Well, you can see my fingers are adult sized, so it's sometimes I miss and accidentally go in there, and that's annoying. So I'm gonna make these buttons a little bit bigger. But other than that, it's done. So yeah, if you have any recommendations, start making a list, and I don't know, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna make a big list of bug fixes and recommendations for the app. But the API calls are gonna be like, and the images are probably gonna be one of the last things I do, because it's almost an entirely a different app. So that take a long time. It's been fun building this. I didn't. I'm not a programmer. I did programming, which I don't know. I have done a little bit of Visual Basic. I don't know, if you're looking at these cards, you might, and you're a programmer, you'll probably know what Visual Basic is. I did Visual Basic, some C# and Java. This was built with Python. It's been 10 years since I've done really hardly any programming, so it's a lot. And like the API stuff, it may just be totally out of my grasp. I'm working on it, but it's not super easy. But yeah, just if you have any, oh, I guess I do want to show. You can go to, like, if you're sorting through cards, this is something easy you can do. You can go to Lord of the Rings, Battle of Helm's Deep. You can sort by price, obviously, so you can be like, okay, well, it's a bad example. Just get an idea of what the top cards are in a set. Oh, I know this one's big, so obviously Future Enterprise is pretty much the whole price of the set. Enterprise Collection. So anyways, yeah, just send me recommendations, and thanks, guys.